You know, every plant has a story that's associated with it. And most people are familiar with the coconut tree because there it is, it's swaying in the palm, the trade winds, for all to look at. And if you were to look at a coconut tree, you would see these nuts hanging at the very top. And then when they turn brown, they fall to the ground. Now, they don't let it stand on the tree these days, especially in residential areas, because they're afraid it'll fall on your head and somebody will get hurt. Back in the olden days, however, these things were left on the tree until they turned brown, fell to the ground, and then they took a sharp stake like this, which was embedded in the ground, and then you would husk the coconut. Then when the husk was open, what you would do is you would open up the fibers like this so that they become thread-like, and you can make rope out of it. For this, they had no nails, they had to hold things together. And you could take the leaves of the coconut like this, make it into a basket, or take the leaf sheet like that, use it as a scrubber, or take the shell of the coconut and make a cup out of it. You can take the leaves and strip off the leaves and keep the midrib, and out of the midrib you bundle them together just like this, and you can use it as a broom for sweeping around. And for the children, you can allow the children to make a toy, one of which is I'm holding in my hand, that's made from the coconut. The midrib of a coconut turned into a circle, the cordage that holds the ball together made from the coconut, and the leaf sheet of the coconut. And so what you do is you try to capture it like that for children to play. Huh? Now if you're really good, then you go bounce and you come around, bounce and you come around. Anyway, you get the idea. So all of these beneficial things that come from the coconut. Now how does that occur? Well, I have to start with Maui, the Hawaiian Superman, and Kuna the giant eel. And Maui is chasing the giant eel Kuna up the Wailuku River because the eel tried to capture Maui's mother. She's so beautiful, the eel wants the woman for himself. And Maui will have none of that. So as Maui's chasing the eel up the Wailuku River, as he's about ready to grab the eel jumps into his underwater hole, so that when Maui reaches down to try to pull that darn thing out, he can't. His hands are too short. Maui looks around and he says, oh, I know what I'm going to do. He goes to the bank where the mud is and digs a large hole in that muddy bank. Then he gathers all of the dry wood along the river and he puts that wood right in the middle of the hole as a wood stack. Then gathers all of the stones and puts the stones on top of the wood stack. Then sets the wood stack on fire, which heats up the rocks. When the rocks are red hot, Maui takes them to the hole where the eel is, and he drops the hot rocks into the water, which causes the water to boil. That's how Wailuku gets its name. Wailuku means to be turbulent. And as the water is boiling, the eel in the hole feels himself being cooked and says to himself, oh dear, I need to get out or I'll be cooked. So as the eel is coming out of his hole, Maui is waiting at the very top, grabs the eel by the neck, takes his axe and cuts the head of the eel off and lets the head fly into the air to land on the muddy bank. Then Maui goes back to his mother and says, Mother, you don't have to worry about that bad, evil eel. I've killed it. It won't bother anybody again. But a strange thing is happening. Where the head had landed, people who live along that side start to see the strange tree growing. Never seen a tree like this before. It's a tree, but this tree, having a trunk, does not have any branches coming out from the side of it, except at the very top of the tree. When all of a sudden these leaves come out, and under it is this nut, or two, or three, a whole bunch of it, as a matter of fact. So they climb up to the tree, pull on the nut, and they dig the husk out with the stake that I showed you. And when they open up that nut, they see the face of the eel in it. as you see here, the two eyes and the mouth. And when the people see the face of this eel in the coconut, they say, aha, I now know what happened to the eel. It turned into a coconut tree. And then the people concluded, I'm so glad that Maui punished the eel, because when he punished the eel, all of the marvelous things that I showed to you that comes from the coconut tree, which comes from the eel, is something we benefit from. I think I would like to say to children, if you're not behaving well, perhaps punishment is a good thing, because when you're punished, you will begin to do things that are right and be helpful to the family and to your neighbors. That's what this story of Kuna, the giant eel, and Maui is all about. A lesson well learned, I would think.